empathize with reports, and these are not the manufacturing of either media or politically exposed persons of reports, and then genuinely of citizens who are complaining that they are losing access because they cannot commute to the district offices from where their abode is, and then also they are handicapped in many ways, either because they are physically challenged or convalescing, etc. And then we just not find the right people either to guarantee. Do you empathize with them?
I empathize with people who have challenges. Anybody
and
who
you don't think those...
No. You see, that is the reason why I'm saying that. When I was even talking about the electoral commission, you said, oh, this one is not just for the camera or something. I mean, when I was admonishing the electoral commission to ensure that everybody get to register. But when people have problems, if people have challenges, I mean, the political parties are on hand to help people. The MPP actually, go out there and convey people to the registration centers. The NDC is doing so.
We shouldn't.
And some of the smaller political parties are also doing so.
Right.
So this is the empathy that we are talking about. And for me, I think that the Electoral Commission, just like any other institution, cannot be said to be sacrosanct, that they don't have problems or whatever. They might have one or two problems. But in addressing those problems, we should be careful not to go overboard, like what the NDC is doing. And what they are doing is not just about the registration. It's a grand scheme to vilify and to portray the Electoral Commission in a way that lets them look like they are in cahoots with the MPP to rig an election. The Electoral Commission chairperson herself yesterday talked about the fact that they are not in any way in collusion with any political party to disenfranchise anybody.
Right.
And therefore, when people sit and talk in a way that is not the best, I think that we have to...
Mr. Musa Dankwa.
Yes, Roland.
So I have BT Sly, Nadoli Kalyo, who is saying, from my community, Koyin Yiri.
Korin
Yiri.
After Noro.
In Nadoli Kalyo district, one needs 140 to get to the district capital because there's no straight road to Nadoli.
No, you have to actually...
Now...
You have to try to... No, you know Korin.
And we're talking about people who didn't get to register the last time, 2020.
You sit down one
who have turned 18. Realistically, do you think the Electoral Commission, based on what the statistics are, seem to be far removed from the reality on the ground, and then is preaching something that is far different?
Would pay for them.
And why?
I believe so. I mean, besides the first-time voters, those who are attaining 18 years, there are those who are much older than 18 years that are not on the register, that we haven't captured. So the figures they are throwing out is probably underestimated. I mean, so, look, it is a reality. I mean, this is not a myth. I don't think EC is oblivion to what is happening all the country. I remember when I was doing my national service in Yendi, it's a village called Pansia. I rode on the back of a bicycle for about 3 hours before I got to the village from Yendi. I mean, you are asking this guy to come to Yendi. I mean, look, for me, I thought the reason they were doing this was for money reasons or resources. They haven't got the money. If that wasn't the case, I don't see the rationale behind what they're, frankly speaking. It doesn't matter if they plan to do further registration in 2024. But you would normally try to resolve the problem now because the backlog this time around is quite huge. So you deploy heavily now, capture as much as you can, and then in 2024, you do immediate registration where you would have just do a mop-up. The effect will be much more effective than what they are doing now. Clearly, I mean, look, it's difficult for anybody to justify what EC is doing from any angle.
Now, does it mean that the way the Electoral Commission is undertaking this exercise and ignoring all criticisms from those who have been targeted, being the citizens, those who are guaranteeing for those first-time voters, and even the state actors and the political actors, many people could end up not being registered in this window because of the actions of the Electoral Commission, and why?
Absolutely. In fact, we are even envisaging that. So in our next opinion poll, we were asking people who haven't registered why they haven't registered. And I think by October 10th or 14th, the EC will see the reason from our national tracking poll. So we're not just talking on TV or radio. We are actually measuring what people are telling us with regards to the experiences they are going through. And I believe that a lot of people will not go because of the inconvenience they have to encounter, because you have to carry at least 3 people or 2 people to go with you to register if you don't have the Ghana card with you. And we know that a lot of young people don't have the national ID card at this stage. So they are more likely to carry people with them and pay for their transport. In these dire economic times, how do they do that? Anybody who really believes in true democracy will not be doing what EC is doing right now.
What is the trouble that could portend for us? I mean, what do you envisage could be the problem, that could be the backlog that could lead to many people being disenfranchised from next year into 2024 general elections?
Look, at the moment, about 21% of first-time voters said they will not vote. And nobody should be happy with that kind of number. I mean, these people constitute about 13% of the voting population, and 21% said they will not vote. We are trying to engage young voters or young people to take part in our democracy so that they don't feel despondent. They don't feel that they've been cut out. And these are the things that will minimize the risk to this country in terms of security. If they see that we are implementing policies that will deliberately disenfranchise them, this could blow up in our faces. We need to engage them. We need to let them feel that, look, the only way we can advance this country is through democracy and through participation, and not through disenfranchising people. And clearly what is going on is achieving that.
You are saying it is deliberate by the Electoral Commission?
No, I've said that if money was not the reason, then it's deliberate.
Yesterday, Elikim, somebody drew my attention that before this current registration, people needed the voter ID for transactions. Now the transactions are being done with Ghana card. So once somebody has Ghana card, the person may not be compelled to go and register. Is that a fear that you think is being perpetrated in many of the strongholds of the NDC and the other political parties? That you think the Electoral Commission is spearheading deliberately?
It could be. It could be. Roland, it could be. Let me also put on record, if you listen carefully to the Electoral Commissioner yesterday, she did say that even in 2024, they are going to do the registration exercise, same way as it's being done today. I don't know if you took notice.
I did.
Which means that even next year for 2024 registration, she is saying they may open up the roll for 4, 5, 6 months,
7 months
or so. But you see, if this is not insanity, what else can it be called? And I am so sorry that my brother here has decided to be a typical not aware person and wants to choose words and translate them to local language to make meaning for him. It is English we are speaking. And so describing the Electoral Commissioner in the manner she is conducting herself could not be perfect. What she is doing, permit me if I have to repeat it again, it is stupidity. It cannot be countenanced. It cannot be allowed. Why are you not happy with what she's doing? Or probably you are happy by pretending in front of the cameras that you in the MPP are also not happy about what is happening. Look, I am young just as you are, and you want to even force our brother here to be young. Good. Are you aware that there's a certain instant coffee being served all over Africa now? And it is just...
Which is what?
Coup d'etats and uprisings. God forbid, discontent, because when you try to gag the people, you see, we have now become, we may not be developed, but the minds of people, the millennials today, is very developed. So when you don't allow them to have a proper appreciation for democracy, they will make you know that, look, you cannot do this. And look, take no assurances from any military. There's no army even bigger than the people. There are times when the people call for it, the military has no other choice than to also allow or join them do so. This is not something anybody wishes for this country, because we have come far as a people. But when you are allowing these things to go on, the Electoral Commission already is failing to meet its target. And if you listen to the analogy drawn by my brother, if 600,000 people are churned out from 2021, 2022, and those who will be joining them this year as well, that alone is almost 2 million. You haven't done anything about that. Then you throw a figure of about 1.3, which is your target. Look, common sense should have told all there that you rather needed to expand this exercise. Then the mop-up exercise is where you need to actually do at the district offices. Now you are expecting me not to bring one guarantor, but 2 guarantors from my hometown, travel 50 kilometers, spend 150 cedis on myself, and another 300 on them. You get to the center and you are told the machine is faulty, or it is raining, or you don't even get to register yourself, and you have to go back. Even if you have to sleep, you have to provide food for those people. Are you aware of the challenges people are going through, including your own party members? Or you think that all those who are first-time voters are never going to consider the NPP, for which reason you shouldn't care? The reason it is very worrying is that when you have your national youth organizer say that if you do not think you can embark on this exercise, you can sit at home. Then you have Bossman, who is a known NPP fanatic and an appointee of your president, also do or say same. And you have the likes of Apiahene, who are also die-in-the-wool party apparatchiks who have been elevated to that level. Then I'm sorry but to say that I am not convinced by anything you say here. Look, Roland, I'm an advocate for women, a strong one.
Are you a woman?
I'm not a woman, but I'm an advocate for women. And that is why I was so happy. You recall during the he for she incident when the president went to lie on international TV in Canada that he's employed over 5,000 people and that young Arab lady embarrassed him. I was happy, not because the president was embarrassed, but I was happy because the young lady was strong, intelligent enough to demonstrate to the president that what you are holding is just a title. It doesn't mean you have wisdom or knowledge beyond my capacity. And the young lady showed that she was more intelligent than our president on that day.
Oh, how?
Oh, yes. Oh, do you want to play that tape back? You recall how she
I know
she
the summit you're talking about.
You get it. And so,
but
if
your
today,
that's your interpretation.
I mean, it was interpretation by everybody. And you see, so if you as a young person think that this matter should be treated with velvet gloves because describing the conduct of the Electoral Commission is stupidity personified, means that you are taking too much. Look,
you shouldn't use these words.
You see, did they seek clearance from the NDC when they had to even call John Mahama incompetent?
By his?
You see, you think he is, and you think that others should not be described by who they are.
I mean,
so
stupidity and incompetence are different.
You see that
stupidity is insulting.
That is what you think.
Incompetent is described.
What is the meaning of incompetence? If I may just cede him 30 seconds of my own time.
Oh,
what do you understand by?
I mean, somebody who who is incapable of doing the right.
Why are you doing the moderation?
So you have no use. You have no use. That's what you mean. You see, so my point is that the Electoral Commissioner has defied sound knowledge. He's defied anything sane that Ghanaians are talking. And mind you, I'm not talking only because I'm an NDC. I'm talking because I'm Ghanaian who is worried for the young man or the young woman out there who is having some excitement that in the district level elections, I may also be part of the electoral process. And now you are denying him that opportunity. And so that is a very sad situation.
It looks like people seem to be taking on Salia, a lot of his countrymen from Wa. So I have Kalio man from Wa who says, I'm surprised Saka, who is from, your place is Double in Wa,
he's not been there in a decade,
is talking the way he's doing. He doesn't have feelings for his own people. Now he's in Accra and he's talking like the...
so what is he talking about?
Is it the elephant? But Bernard, what are your worst fears? Because you are a very experienced politician. What are your worst fears that could happen to young people who ideally should have been targeted with this registration that is being undertaken by the Electoral Commission?
They will not register. And they will lose confidence in the voting process.
And our democracy.
And that will lead to a certain level of apprehensions amongst our people, heightening the insecurity of our nation. Because anytime people lose confidence in the processes leading to, they are exercising their rights to choose. They have no other option than to resort to violence. Nobody should pray for that day. When that day comes, I will run. the EC will not stay. They will run. And so it is important that to avert this situation, we do everything possible to ensure that people get to register. When B.T. Sly gave his message from Korinyiri, he said that it costs about 104 or 40 cedis to move from Korinyiri to get to Norong. From Norong, you then be struggling whether you go to Zang or you go through Buse before you can get to Nadoli.
Don't look at him. He doesn't know.
I know he doesn't know what he's talking about.
I know those places more than him.
He doesn't know nothing.
I know those places that he's mentioning more than him.
He doesn't know anything.
I have to go to Musa Therapy.
So to that extent, he's talking about 140. But we are told that you have to go with 2 guarantors. So it is 140 times 3. Yeah. In this economy, where Saka sits here and cannot even fill his tank.
Oh, please, don't speak ill of Saka.
I'm just telling you reality. I'm just telling you reality.
I'll come to you.
I'm telling you reality. That the pretense we show when we are on set and we go outside and we are gnashing doesn't help us.
Don't be personal.
I'm not personalizing it. I'm just.
Please go ahead.
I'm not personalizing. If you take it that is personalization,
no,
I'm sorry.
It's not offensive.
I'm saying that if you take it, I'm sorry. When you finish registering, I'll talk. So if you take it as an offense, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But I'm just telling you how these things undermine the potency of the citizens. Now, what is Jean Mensah saying? That those who are talking today did not say the same in 2016. And so because 2016 people did not say, it all of a sudden becomes a right. What did she say in 2016? If people who are talking today did not speak, what did she say? As IEA boss, was she not everywhere attacking and bastardizing the EC for the stance they have taken? Has she forgotten the fight we took with the EC? And this was without exception.
Yeah.
Because political parties at the IPAC insisted that we should do it at polling stations. And when EC said they would not do it at polling stations, we said the minimum we could take was electoral areas. We had this banter. Then you come. You are avoiding service. Now you agree that you have been served, but you are ignoring the fact that you have been served. And you are going round. And the courts are aiding the EC into this. You know how they are aiding? A matter that the citizens want a determination, the court says that the determination will come in 17th October, by which time the voters register or registration would have been done. I have been party chairman. At the time, I was general secretary. When we were to go to Congress in Sunyani, Roland, you recall the Sunyani Conference, 2012. Some members of our party had taken our party to court to prevent us from going. Georgina Theodore Wood was not in the country. But she ensured that the acting Chief Justice empaneled a court on a Saturday to determine the matter by 11 o'clock to tell the Electoral Commission that go and conduct the party congress for them. Today, our courts are not in hurry to resolve matters that have serious ramifications on our national growth. Let us watch out. The day that Armageddon will plague us, no one will be safe.
What is giving you comfort, since you have no fears at all that people could be disenfranchised? What's giving you comfort that at the end of this registration exercise, the objectives for which this is being undertaken will be achieved?
Yeah, first of all, I think that the Electoral Commission, as mandated by law, is supposed to do the registration and even review the registration annually. And the Electoral Commission has been doing all that. And especially this year, maybe last year, for one or two reasons, they couldn't fulfill that constitutional imperative. But they are doing it now. And they have told us that among other things, they are going to do more mopping up and all those things to ensure that every legitimate
That's
Ghanaian.
next year. They said
next year towards the election, towards the general election. And that they will do everything possible to do it. You see, the hypocrisy is a problem in this country. We are people. I mean, remember in 2005 when we were going to introduce the Europa, Bernard and Co were all over the place. That they won't accept that, doing demonstrations, that Ghanaians everywhere should not be allowed to vote. Mm-hmm. And today they are talking about entitlement to vote.
Wow.
You see, when the law, when we were saying that every Ghanaian, irrespective of where you reside.
Salia, speak to the issue.
Yeah, that's the issue. That's the issue.
No, I'll talk about it.
Irrespective. Can you let me talk?
Who say
maybe don't speak to the issue.
So, and they are here saying that.
He's talking about Europa.
The Electoral Commission is disenfranchising some people and all those things. I told you here, I didn't mince words, that the MPP position has always been that we want the Electoral Commission to do the registration of everybody who qualify as a Ghanaian. And we want the register to be as, the integrity of the register to be as strong as possible. The problem is not just to let people, whoever, be on the register and then in the end bring the integrity into dispute. But what we want is that the integrity of the register should be as strong as ever, and that only Ghanaians get to do the registration. Not what some other people think that we should join them in chorus in condemning and insulting the
Mr. Musa Dankwa, no, Europa. I covered all the issues about Europa. The argument then was that if you say people, of course, Samson Ladi has a ruling that ideally the EC should be effective. At the time, if you say the EC should implement that, then they should be in a position where all Ghanaians, and there are many Ghanaians, not only Germany, Hamburg, and those places are not only places where Ghanaians live. They live across Africa as well. Then you should be in a position to register. Mr. Musa Dankwa. Oh, please.
Yes.
Mr. Musa Dankwa.
You cannot make voter registration accessible to me. You want to take it outside.
The way you look at the statistics, based on your analysis, we are headed for a mass number of young people who could end up being disenfranchised. Even though we're told that there will be 7 months being a period of registration across districts next year for 2024. How worried should we be as a country in terms of the perception on the Electoral Commission, the impact on the fairness and the transparency of next year's election, and the trust that people could have for the Electoral Commission? How worried, based on these indicators, should we be?
Now, Roland, if you look at what EC said, they said that next year they will do continuous registration, but those will still be at the offices of the EC, district level. And so it doesn't resolve the problem that we are currently seeing. And people are broke. Frankly speaking, you have no money to commute that distance. I would have thought that they would have used the NI template. Mass registration, when you've captured over 80% or so of your target, then you decentralize to the districts and do the mop-up. But they are doing the reverse. And I think, look, if you follow social media, which I do quite a lot, because as a poster, you must have your ears on the ground. The anger on the ground is not healthy at all. And we should be seeking to really make it easy for people to vote. I'm always advocating for easier process to make young voters vote. But that is the only way we can engage them. Any young voter that I have come across that says he will not vote, I always tell them to make the effort to vote. But that's the only way their voices can be heard. And if we do our bit as public figures and others undermine that effort through this exercise, it really hurts. We have to be very careful because this explosion of anger by young voters could really mean something else in the future. We should try and avoid that.
I love this. Explosion of anger. We have to be really careful. So let me just also apprise you of some of the comments that are coming in, and then
I need to make a small comment.
so we have this one, Prince Henry from Kofodia, who says that from Labi Chrome to Afosu, then to New Abrim, before you travel to Kede, is about 90 kilometers. It will cost about 100 Ghana cedis or more per person for in and out, including a guarantor. If a first-time voter without the Ghana card wants to register, he or she must go with guarantors, and that will be as much the cost. Note that Labi Chrome is a constituency in Kede, and you have to travel through Ofuanse Ayerebi constituency before going to his or her constituency or office of the EC in Kede. This is coming from Alhaji Aminu Donko, who is a politician based in Kede, and that's a concern also being raised by Prince Henry. Now, Alhaji Hamza from Pig Farm says, Madame Jimensa and her arrogant posture goes to show that she has no respect for the rule of law, and God have mercy on Ghana. Eric from Ashaliboche says, what did Saka Sali when did Saka Sali realize that insult is not the way to go? They call Charlotte say Ashawo. Did you call him Ashawo?
Did you ever hear me call anybody?
Not you.
Never.
Don't
we
do
never
call
them.
Do you call him
We never called their Ashawo.
And then they call GM a thief and incompetent.
Right.
Yo, they say you hold PhD insults. Now, don't be surprised next year that they will insist on using only Ghana card. Well, that's a new one. So we have. I have this one from George Alote. Please tell the NDC rep that they should stop bringing people from other constituencies to register at Ablekuma West, etc. That's George Alote. And George Alote, thank you. And I have also from Tio. Now, let me just go to some of the comments from my regulars. So because my time is up, I have this one from Daniel Akpaliok. Please tell Sakasalia to speak to the issue and stop the equalization and the blame game. And then also this one from Rasarampa. Why are all these MPP guys defending the EC like that? What's the agenda? I should ask you, what's the agenda?
I told you by the time
that the NDC is attacking the EC like that.
I told you by the time we end the program.
Amama Gold says there's everything wrong with the way the Electoral Commission is undertaking its work. Sanwo Moses Sale says, where is the Peace Council? The Christian Council? Occupy Ghana. Which other groups do you have? And then, so is the Peace Council functioning at all? And that's from King Power. All of you joining us, we're grateful. Elikem, great one. Former PNC Chair, Bernard Mona, and then Saka Salia. We're taking...
Tell the government to fix the Kolas Bridge.
The Kolas Bridge.
So they are doing,
at Doli, which is causing a lot of discomfort, has increased the cost of transporting or traveling from Wa to Accra or Kumasi. Above all, reducing the inflows, because Burkina Faso, Niger, and Mali, they also come through that same road. So this is a very important road, and the bridge has been begging for works. Unfortunately, it appears that government...
when did the bridge...
Mr. Musa Dankwa, thank you very much for joining. I can see my own father also coming in, the most reverend, Paul Kebafo. I love this man. And then, of course, Sheikh Arimiao is also in the studio as well. We'll have some nice conversations, I promise you.